Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gatesy. Welcome to Falls from Iron. This is Transfer Talk, and as Martin Tyler says, and it's live. Joining me, as you can see, my esteemed friend and colleague, Mr. Andy Miles. How the devil are you, sir?
I feel like I should have had my yellow tie on today. It's like a signing. I should just put it
We're
around.
almost sure it's a signing. We're almost sure.
You know what? In a minute, when you rub it away and show your screen, I'm going to go and put the tie on and just put it around here, pretend to be Jim White.
What could possibly go wrong?
No, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm off.
Yeah, no, it's going quick, but I'll be back to work on Tuesday. But it is what it is. But for those of you that are joining us, welcome. Please don't forget to drop a like on the stream. It really does help the channel out tremendously. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of any new content as and when we upload it or it streams live. So let's just have a quick look in the comment section. We got Neil from Down Under. How are you, sir? 4:30 a.m. on a Friday morning, mate.
Well done, Neil.
My hat's off to you.
Charlie.
Charlie's here. How you doing, Mr. Walsh? How are you doing? Hope you're well, my friend.
And then we've got another Charlie.
We have.
Wow.
We have a pair of Charlies.
No comment.
They can take a joke. I know they can. So, Milesy, it's not been confirmed by West Ham United Football Club that Kurt Zouma has signed on the dotted line. But, there's enough evidence out there that this is as good as a done deal as it's possible to be without it being announced by the club itself. I've just been... Sky Sports is on, in Sky Sports News is on next door. Mrs. even turned around and said that Kaveh Solhekol has turned around and he said that Kurt Zouma has gone to West Ham. So... unless there's a last-minute hitch with the medical or anything like that, he's one of ours, isn't he?
Yeah, mate, he is. And I'm just happy because this was Moyes' number one target who he wanted. And the fact that it's taken so long, I'm not too worried about. I know me and you were... I said not to panic yet. There's still a long way to go in the window. It was 3 weeks, then it was 2 weeks. And now it's less than 1 week and we've finally got one over the line. And I think the Twitter meltdown last night, I couldn't deal with it, mate. I really couldn't deal with it. And I was just like, do you know, as Jake said this morning, 2,000 tweets of GSP out went last night. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But hi to everyone in the chat as well. I know they're flowing in now.
Hope you're all well, guys. Hope you're all well, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. We do appreciate it as always. Shall I? Obviously we had a little chat before we hit start broadcast. Shall I get up on the screen for the ladies and gentlemen at home what we're going to pick our way through?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Okay, so I'll go full screen with it because they might be interested to see this. You never know. So this is from the Premier League website. For anyone that doesn't know, Kurt Zouma, obviously, well, we think he's still a Chelsea player, but very shortly will become a West Ham player. This is his Premier League record: 165 appearances, 9 goals, 71 wins, 55 defeats. Just looking at some of his stats here, you can see there, clean sheets 44, goals conceded 186, 176 tackles. Tackle success percentage is 69%. Last man tackles 5, 19 block shots, 249 interceptions, 733 clearances, 400 headed clearances, etc. Just winding down, this is the one that really caught my eye. In nearly 200 Premier League games, only 1 own goal and 2 errors leading to a goal. What are your thoughts on that? For me, I think that's actually pretty decent, to be fair.
Yeah, it is, mate. I remember a lot of a season of that. Them Premier League stats was when he was on loan at Everton, and I couldn't believe we missed out on him when we was on loan. We were linked with him years ago on loan. I've always been an admirer of him, and yeah, he's typical French defender. He reminds me a bit of like a Desailly sort of player, if you know what I mean. Solid, pacey, great in the air, and I'm over the moon, mate. I'm over the moon.
Just on that one, Steve just said he thinks the medical has been done. According to what I've been told, the medical has been done
this morning.
Yeah, it was done today in France. I'm just looking here on Hammer's News. It says here, Zouma had a West Ham medical in Paris, where he is currently on compassionate leave on Thursday. In other words, today. So the medical is done. So unless that has brought up anything untoward, and there was, and I did a little bit of digging, he's had one fairly big injury in his career, which was a cruciate ligament injury. So that's possibly the thing that maybe we're looking at and thinking, could there be something that's picked up in the medical that shows that maybe his knee's in worse shape than maybe we would like it to be, that possibly could put a little bit of a spanner in the works? You never know. But I mean, other than that, the guy's quite a fit lad.
Yeah. When you're that young, you recover from injuries. If he had that injury now, I would be a bit concerned. But to be honest, touch wood, we've not really had any major injuries since Moyes has been back. Really, last year I know we lost Antonio for a bit, but do you remember how many injuries we were losing on the training ground? And that hardly happens now. I think the training ground was made out of nails or something. People were treading on them, but
concrete.
But, but no, I'm absolutely over it. And speaking to a lot of Chelsea fans, they're gutted. Like, there's one in work who sits opposite me, and he can't believe he's leaving. He said he was one of their best defender last year.
Yeah. See, that for me is quite revealing. You know, if you've got a Chelsea fan that's actually quite disappointed that he's moved on, you know what I mean? It's like, well, if they were turning around saying, well, thank Christ he's gone, then I'd be a little bit more concerned. But obviously, if they're a bit sort of like disappointed to see him go, then I'm like, okay, fair enough. We've just had West Ham Online join us. West Ham Online, how are you, sir?
Very well. How about yourself?
Well, if this is to be believed, that Kurt Zouma is pretty much guaranteed, barring anything shown in the medical that he's already undertaken in France, that he's pretty much a West Ham player, then I'm reasonably happy, because as Milesy said earlier, it's fairly well documented that this was certainly his number one defensive target, if not his number one target, period. And it appears that we've got him over the line. So, I mean, you know, in Moyes we trust.
Yeah. I can't really argue too much with it. Originally, I wanted Milenkovic over him, but I have heard the whole time that Zouma was actually the one Moyes wanted. It's just that Milenkovic was the cheaper option. So we went for that after hearing the price for Zouma and the wage demands, etc., etc. Obviously, we all know that Milenkovic fell through. And now we've gone back in for Zouma. We've managed to sort out the wage demands and sort of lower them to the standard we'd like. I am actually a bit surprised that he does want to join, because obviously we are a team on the up and we're an impressive team as of late. But he's a serial winner, and I don't mean Kellogg's. He's won Champions Leagues, Europa Leagues, FA Cups. And he probably knows that we win absolutely nothing. But yeah, I am surprised. But at the same time, it shows that he has ambitions of playing first team football, because he wasn't starting for Chelsea at the time as regularly as he'd probably like to be. I imagine Thomas Tuchel doesn't really see him as a fit for his back three, which I agree with. I think Zouma's more of a defender that's suited for a back four than the back three. So he's probably looked at it, evaluated that he's 26, coming into his prime, and so I think it's a smart bit of business on both ends. I think the fee is a bit hefty, but hopefully he justifies it.
When you say what, you're talking about the transfer fee or the apparent wages that we're having to outlay, or even both?
I do think the transfer fee is a bit hefty, but I do have to second guess myself on this, because obviously we know Arsenal bought Ben White for double the price, and I think Zouma is quite a bit better than Ben White. It's just that our budget is so low that I'm wondering if he's worth spending 25-ish million on a player who, when we could probably have got like a 10-15 million central defender and then got a striker. But Moyes knows better than me, so I imagine it will all come good.
See, the way I look at it is Arsenal have spent 90 million on Ben Wright and Odegaard, yeah, and 140 million including Ramsdale, which is a joke, and we've got Areola, World Cup French international goalkeeper, Zouma, French international, and if we get Lingard, I think we've got the better deals for less than half the money.
Oh, if you looked at Arsenal's team last season and in last game of last season, you said to an Arsenal fan, okay, 140 million later, this is your team. And they've only got one extra starter in Ben White. The rest is all bench players. They're probably thinking, oh my God, who have we got in here?
Yeah. And there's still a chance, guys, that this might not be the end of our transfer business. I mean, there's still noises about Lingard. There's noises about Vlasic that I've heard literally in the last 20 minutes or so, that's still possibly an avenue that we're exploring. So there may still be more reinforcements coming through the door fairly imminently, gentlemen.
Yeah, on Vlasic, if I could. I have two friends who are Everton fans who are quite knowledgeable in football. Like, they do all football journalism and they went to uni about football at Wembley. So I consider their knowledge, like, I can respect their opinions. And they said when Vlasic was 19 or 20, when he was at Everton, Sam Allardyce, who was the manager at the time, all the Everton fans could see that Everton fans could see that Vlasic was very good on the ball, but apparently he was awful off it. So it'll be interesting because we all know that Moyes won't like that. We've seen that at the start with Ben Rama. So I imagine that either we've scouted him properly and he is better off the ball now, or it's a David Sullivan signing.
Yeah. Just looking there, chaps, just to sort of, I've just had a look on Transfer Market just to show it to people. He did have a big injury back in 2016, February 2016. As you can see there, he had quite a sequence of matches off, cruciate ligament rupture, which is obviously, But I mean, since then, if you look,
that's 5 years ago.
Exactly. So, if you look since then, it's not really been something that, if you look since, has been something that's regularly flared up. And as you say, 5 years later, you'd like to think that is something that is in the dim and distant past, and that it's very unlikely that this medical would have found anything untoward.
Yeah.
Like I said, Gatesy, I've heard from a number of sources, and with regards to Zouma, I sort of said it to you off air. He does get fluid in his knee, but I think that's quite common. In literally, you just go and get it drained. It sounds disgusting, but that's the only thing. But the one thing is,
Clive. Just going to welcome Clive along, new subscriber. Welcome along, sir. Make sure you drop a like on the video. It really does help us out. Thanks for coming. Tell your friends.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Marzi.
No, it's fine. Do you know what really excites me? Is a back three of Ogbonna, Diop, and Zouma.
Do you think that he would suit? Because as West Ham Online just said, he's maybe not so suited for a back three, back five formation. I mean, do you think that maybe Moyes could work his magic on him?
I could. I don't know about West Ham Online.
I don't disagree. I feel like it could be different in our system because we're less possession. We don't rely on as much on possession, obviously. And when we played in the back five, we obviously used to get like 30% possession or something ridiculous like that.
Excuse me, my pizza's getting cold.
That's all right.
Yeah, for the viewers, that's a dish served up by Hippo anyway. But back to
easy.
Back to this. I do feel like Zouma is better in a back four, as I said, but I'm open to the opinion of him playing in a back five, and I hope that Andy is right.
No, the thing is, Zouma will be in the centre, I think, and Diop will be on the right. So whenever we normally play the back three, I remember Leicester at home when Diop done that brilliant pass over and he sits there on the right hand side, and I feel I really do think he'll be a success. The fact that he'll be in the middle, he's got the pace, he's got the strength, and with Bonner this season beside him, he can learn the ropes, I think.
Yeah. Hopefully, as I say, hopefully you're right. I do get what you're saying. And I feel like in the middle he'd be perfect because of his prowess. Like, he could come out of defence and he could pressure the opposition. He's quite strong in the tackle, so he could be the defender that's pushing the back line forward. So as I say, hopefully you're right. And I do think Diop is better in a back five.
Just to answer Joan's question, as far as my pizza was concerned, I had a Texas barbecue from Domino's. Very nice.
Oh, it wasn't Hippo that said.
No. It wasn't a homemade jobby. Well, actually, my wife went to phone up. I mean, sort of like, I'm guessing this is probably because of COVID and things like that. She phoned up the number that's on the pizza menu, and they said, "Oh, you're going to have to do it all online." Well, what's the point of me having a phone number then?
Yeah.
Twat.
What? As for my dinner, I went for 9 nuggets, chips, barbecue sauce, and a bottle of water from McDonald's. I give it a 6. It weren't too great today. I don't feel like they salted the chips enough.
Charlie in the chat, Hammer's chat. Charlie's going to be disappointed you didn't go for the share box, mate. He's going to be very disappointed.
I get the same thing every time. I'm always.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do because it's Charlie. Right, you two carry on talking. I'm going to formulate a little plan. Carry on chatting amongst yourselves, guys. Entertain the people in the live chat.
Okay, what we'll do for live chat. Andy, what did you have for dinner?
I ain't had my dinner yet, mate. I've not long been in from work, so I might have a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, you know how to live, don't you?
I might have a McDonald's, or that pizza looks very, very tempting.
I've been eating a lot of salmon lately. I've become a big salmon fan. Yeah, I've become a bit salmon fan. It's obviously on the healthy side of things. I'm a big fan. I feel like
Mr. Charlie Walsh, check your WhatsApps. If you fancy jumping on, please do.
Yeah, no. What did everyone else have for dinner? Come on, everyone. Let's have a look. Or what's your favourite pizza? Come on. We always go off topic here. We always talk about food.
Do you know what Kurt Zuma's middle name is, chaps?
Happy Hammers.
Kurt Happy Zouma. He signed for the Happy Hammers. We've got the Happy Hammerette in the live chat. What could possibly go wrong? It's written in the stars, isn't it?
Yeah. Speaking about Happy Gatesy, that brings me to ask you, what is your favourite emoji?
My favourite emoji,
Charlie.
depends upon the situation, I guess. So, Mr. Walsh, you've joined us. Oh, hang on.
Can't hear you.
Your lips are moving and we cannot hear you. Plug it in.
What's this like non-share box maneuvers I'm hearing? You need 20 or you need none. There's no in between.
No. The 9 is sufficient enough. I'm a fan of the 9. It's not too much calories. The 6 is not filling enough, and the 20, in my opinion, is a bit overboard. So I go with the 9, and then I get a large chips. But then I sort of contradict myself because I do get a large milkshake as well. So I do think you have a point there.
But listen, I'm saying get it all. This is what you do, right? You get the share box, right? You take the fries, large preferably, you pour them in the share box. You're getting them all involved. It's all a mess, right? Then you're getting if you're at home, you're getting the squeezy ketchup. If you're out, that's fine. You just have the little donkey dips, right? But if you're at home, you're getting the ketchup. You're going ham.
Oh no,
right?
I'm taking issue with Neil from down under here, mate. Pineapple on a pizza.
I don't mind a pineapple on a pizza.
I'll back pineapple on pizza.
Charlie, do you dip your chips in the milkshake?
No, people keep saying this to me. This is acceptable. It's not acceptable.
For anyone joining, Kurt Zouma is potentially a West Ham player.
Yeah, we'll obviously Charlie's just turned up. Charlie, let's bring it back to West Ham chat. So it's almost certain that Kurt Zouma is a West Ham player. Good move for you, or are you excited? Tell me your feelings.
milkshakes and fries do not go. No,
I like
It's the smink.
People keep saying no. No, I think it's good. I said this on Hammer's Chat the other day when I did the video on it before the first meltdown. But I think it's a good signing. I think I'm a bit worried about the idea of spending over half of our budget on a centre back, especially when I think Kurt Zouma's a good player. I don't think he's as good as Ogbonna, but I do think he's good. He's 26. He's coming into his prime. Yeah. He's gonna grow some more. But at the same time, I'm like, I think we need this player. I think we need that. I think we need this. I think we need that. It's quite a big chunk of the budget. But if we're going for David Moyes' idea of concentrating purely on people who are going to come into the starting 11 and improve it, after that first game, we were all talking about Craig Dawson and needing to improve him, and centre back's the easiest place to start. So it makes sense. But I really like Zouma as a player. I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah. I think it's according to reports though, even if he signs before the noon deadline tomorrow, which would allow him to be eligible for the Palace game, it's very unlikely. The sources seem to suggest that he'll actually be, he won't be coming back until after the September international break. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it makes so I didn't know why this. I keep hearing this Paris thing as well, and I didn't know, mainly because I didn't bother looking into it because I can't be asked. But when you said he was there on compassionate leave, that makes sense. Why all of a sudden it's in Paris and not in London when he's moving from London to London? It makes no sense. But B, also, if he's on compassionate leave, then obviously he's out there for a reason. He should stay out there until he needs to come back. And B, or C at this case, I guess. I don't know what the rules are coming back from France. I assume there might be some quarantine thing going on or tests that you have to do or something.
Possibly.
So when you're on Thursday and the match is on Saturday, it's a bit of a quick turnaround to happen.
I'm getting trolled by my daughter. Can you believe this?
Okay, I'll have it. If you
first of all, you had pizza and you weren't eating it, which A, you should just take my route and just eat it on the show live, and regardless, it's fine. B, then you've got a cookie and you're ignoring it. Gatesy, this is disgraceful behavior.
The dog's probably eating it. The dog is probably eating it.
Bubbles.
Yeah, Bubbles.
I have to ask you one more question, Charlie. What's your KFC order?
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. This is what you do. Okay. Bonus banquet out the gate. No messing. Bonus
Gaza,
banquet.
you've just upset me now.
And then, I'm sorry, Gaze, you're going to have a bad night. Then, what you do is you get the 2 extra wings on top of it for 99p. Because wings are the only bone chicken I'll deal with from KFC. I like the pieces, but there's too many little, but I can't be dealing with it. You get a large Pepsi Max with it, you're having a good time. You're having a good time. The sides, you're talking sweet corn. You could go beans if you're acting wild.
Yeah, I get beans. Beans personally.
Gone. Gatesy gone. Eating now. Gone.
Let's sure?
I'm here
do
to
a rating. Review it.
Yes, okay. Yes, rate it. Come on.
Rate my cookie.
Ooh.
Oh.
What that?
Anything inside?
Yeah, soft sort of chocolatey, gooey sort of thing going on.
You show the goo a bit more to the camera.
Charlie, I'm on a diet this week. Yeah. Well, I've been on a diet for a while.
Good.
Yeah, I heard you've been nailing it. I've heard you've been absolutely killing the diet thing. Frank was talking about it.
Yeah, so I've smashed it. But I went to KFC Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay.
And guess what I got?
Bonus banquet.
No, 10 of the bonus fillets for a £5. They're doing that at the minute. So I've got 10 of them with a popcorn chicken snack box on top.
It's big. It's good. You can't deny it. You can't
with Nandos medium peri sauce over the top.
You've just gone in. I respect
stuck
it.
in.
Nice.
Ain't mucking about.
You've put
Ain't playing games.
What is your Nando's order actually, lads?
I think, to be honest, Nando's I'm not overly impressed with. To me, it's just really expensive chicken and chips.
No, I love a Nando's. I do
like it. I think it is overpriced, but I always get the 10 medium wings with the peri chips, and then I'll get some halloumi cheese on the side.
Halloumi's good. Halloumi is underrated. Halloumi is good cheese. It's good. You fry it. It's easy. I eat it all the time here. I've got some halloumi in the fridge. Might have that in a minute. We're having a good old time. I back it. Here's something I will say. I've only been to Nando's once in my life. I don't know why. Don't know why. Don't know how. Just somehow I've managed to.
I went for a stage at work. It was Nando's Wednesday. Every Wednesday we went Nando's.
I respect it.
I wish I was in your work now.
But talking about a pizza, I my local pizza, I'll go in. I'll get a doner kebab pizza.
No, it isn't. Now my wife's causing problems.
Get out, hippo.
It is not my second favourite pizza. You don't. Number 2 favourite pizza? No.
Your second child. It's number 2.
Oh, that's not what you've wrote. That's not what you've wrote.
We're gonna have a marriage
English lessons.
Yeah,
you know. Oh, hang on. Oh, look who's in the building. West Ham, the Three Hammers. Is that you, Luke? Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah.
Zouma. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to sing it. Go on, you do it.
And Bloomer, Zouma.
Karaoke. We got karaoke.
What's your favourite song at the moment?
Just having a look here, chaps, just for the people watching that may not be aware of it, just to sort of put a little bit more content out there. According to ex-WHU employee, it says that should Zouma sign, which is looking very close to doing so, it is thought, although not 100% confirmed, that he will remain in France anyway, rather than coming back for the Paris game because he is selected for the French national team. It goes on to say, I also think that should he sign with no concrete evidence, he will take the vacant number 4 shirt, which is available, and also a shirt he wore in his early days in France. So there you go. You got a little bit of information there as to what number he's probably going to get.
I still think he's going to get the number 11 shirt.
Why?
We're not getting more outfield players. I'm joking.
Don't start.
I'm joking.
I'd give him the 89. You've got to be a bit obscure nowadays, and I feel like 89 would be...
That's what I would. If I was a professional footballer, I'd be 91, the year I was born. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Does anybody here remember in the 90s when Inter Milan signed the Brazilian Ronaldo?
Yeah, 99, wasn't it?
Do you remember they had a Chilean striker called Ivan Zamorano, and he was the number 9 at Inter Milan before Ronaldo rocked up. And when Ronaldo rocked up, because of course he went there and he was like the big star, and I think when he went there, he was the world record transfer fee when he rocked up. And so they obviously turned around to Ivan Zamorano and said, listen, mate, we're giving the number 9 shirt to Ronaldo. And he was quite imaginative. He turned around and said, oh, okay, I'll tell you what then. I'll have the number 1+8.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
What? He had the number 1+8 on his back. So he was still number 9.
Is that even legal?
It was. I remember seeing him play a Champions League game against Manchester United, and he had 1+8 on his back.
Mm-hmm.
There's a load of like random numbers out there. You can find ones where it's like three digits, and you're like, where's this coming from? How are you getting like in the hundreds, but they exist?
Yeah, see, I reckon Rice will always keep number 41 at every club. I think that'll be like his brand, like DR41. I don't think he'll change.
Possible. Obviously, for England, he's got to wear something below number 23, isn't it? It's 23-man squads normally in World Cups. I know it's... Yeah, she's correcting herself now because I've corrected her.
It's happening quite a lot now, though, isn't it? Because Trent's number 66. Everyone knows him for that. And Foden as well. I think he's 47. So...
Oh, I'm loving this family drama just playing out.
She's being really cheeky.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
She's being really cheeky.
I'm here for it.
Well, the thing is, she's my only daughter, so I always turn around to her and say that she's my favourite daughter, and then she'll whisper under her breath and say, "Child." Honestly, some of the things that go on in here, you don't want to know. How do you mark Souček, Oggy, Zouma, Rice, etc.? Hey, what?
I don't know who Mark is. Luke, you're gonna have to. If you mean Mark Goldbridge,
I think it's how do you mark at like corners.
Oh right, yeah. With you.
Oh,
hang on. Yeah, that would. I'll tell you what. You know, because I mean, we was one of the best at set pieces last season, weren't we? So I mean, you chuck Kurt Zouma into the mix. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, 8+1. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why we always include Rice in these corner header like oh, we'll be so good at corners and put Rice there. I think he's only ever scored from one corner in his 4-year career.
What, Declan?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
But no, he's still a threat. He still takes a couple of players out of the game. But the one who's Souček though is just ridiculous. Like he just takes so many people.
And Craig, you've got Craig's brilliant.
Yeah, big Craig.
Well, he's going to be the backup now, isn't he? I mean, surely it's him that drops out to accommodate Zouma. It's not going to be Ogbonna, is it? Not unless Ogbonna gets an injury or something. But what does this mean for Issa Diop?
With Europe, I don't think it really means anything yet. If we didn't have Europe this year, then obviously someone's making way. But at this point, we're going to have so many games. I mean, the draw's tomorrow. We're going to have so many games that you're probably going to need 4 good centre backs anyway. And so it might be a case of like we can all sit here and if we were talking first 11, then we're saying, yeah, it's probably Ogbonna and Zouma. But actually, it could be a case where you're playing Ogbonna and Dawson in the Premier League because they know each other, and maybe you're playing Diop and Zouma in the cups or something because they've probably, I don't know if they've played together in the French youth system, but they might have. But you know what I mean? It's a case of like we can have the choice of moving these around now. I don't think it means anything for him yet. He's at the stage where he's still so young as well. I mean, like Zuma's coming into his prime and he's 26, for example.
Yeah.
Like Diop's what, 24 now, is he? Something like that. So like
24, yeah.
So like I don't think it means anything for him yet. He's for sale, but I think we're probably at a stage where anyone would be for sale if the right money comes in. It's just a case of the right money, and I doubt the right money would come in for Issa Diop at this point.
I'm just looking here, Charlie, as you mentioned it, about whether Diop and Zouma have crossed paths at maybe underage internationals. I don't think they have, because there's a couple of years between. I'm just looking here. Their under 21s careers don't seem to have crossed over. I don't think they're under 20s, under 19s. I don't think they've had any direct experience. They might have trained together, but
the only one I would have been able to think of is under 23s, just because Zouma wouldn't have made it into the first team frequently enough to make it happen. But I have no idea. But the point is that like I think that it doesn't mean anything yet. Yeah. Listen, if someone comes in and rocks up with 20+ mil bid, then obviously he's gone. But until that moment, and that's not going to happen.
Well, the club where he's favourite to move to is actually Palace.
Who Diop?
Because of Vieira.
Yeah, but they don't need him, do they? Like, I don't think they'd pay 20+ million because they've obviously got Guehi and Anderson, who cost them about 45 combined. So I think
we missed a trick with Anderson, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but we got Zouma, so maybe it all works out in the end.
Definitely.
Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. So, all looking forward to the draw tomorrow.
Yep, live on here. Don't everyone turn notifications on. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's going to be on BT Sport. I think also UEFA are live streaming it from their own website for anyone that hasn't got BT Sport. Although I've got a funny feeling it will probably be streamed on YouTube anyway, because the Champions League draw was done on YouTube. Yeah. So I don't see why the Europa League wouldn't be.
It takes a while, doesn't it, for them to get into it?
Oh, God. It's like, just get on with it, for Christ's sakes. It's 32 names. Just sling them all in the hat, wheel them around, pull them out, done. What are they fanny about so much, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, we'll probably start tomorrow. Like, what time is it scheduled tomorrow, Gatesy?
What, the stream?
Yeah.
11:15 tomorrow morning.
They probably won't even start till half 12, will they, if we're honest?
I'm just gonna have to sit here and just talk nonsense for a little while. I mean, you're going to be joining me, are you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we can chat enough bollocks to keep people entertained.
Talk about meal deals for 45 minutes, man.
Yeah.
What is everyone's favourite meal deal? Come on in.
Yeah, put it in the live chat. Why not?
What's everyone's favourite meal deal? I always go for the expensive one, and then when you see how much you saved, I feel like that's great. I normally get the big large coffee, which is like £2.50, so you're already up before you even get your sandwich.
Charlie's just sort of like, nuggets.
Thinking.
That's it.
I
reckon it's got to be nuggets, isn't it?
I've got more to me than nuggets. How dare
Oh,
you?
have you? Go on, then.
Fries.
Go on.
Do you know what? I don't know if it's my favourite one.
I'm
but
hungry.
The one I buy the most.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
No, bro, before I came on here, I was just shoving shortbreads into my mouth. It's not. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one I've bought the most. Sainsbury's do a bacon sandwich one. You get a bacon sandwich, you get like a McCoy's salt and vinegar crisps, and then you get. Well, it depends what drink you're vibing, but usually a Pepsi Max. But that's probably the one I buy the most. I don't know if it's my favorite. I do like chicken sandwiches in general, but that's the one I buy the most. I'll cop to that.
Oh, if I when I'm not on my diet for the Tesco, I'll go for the sausage and bacon and egg triple, an extra large coffee, and either salt and vinegar McCoy's or a Snickers duo.
I'm getting trolled by my wife again. Are you looking at this? You seeing this? My wife is trolling me again.
Block her.
I think I might have to put her in time out.
Is it a troll if they're talking truth though? Is the question, Gatesy? You'd have to.
But there's no need for it. There's just no need for it. We celebrated 19 years of wedded bliss. I mean, I've given her everything over the last 19 years and more. And I get this.
Don't lie to yourself, Gatesy. She's very underwhelmed.
She's used to it. She's used to it. What's your favourite meal deal, West Ham Online? Why not? Let's carry on.
I've got to be honest. I've got to sit here and be honest. I cannot remember the last time I ate a meal deal.
What?
Chicken and bacon sandwich, Quavers. Oh, Quavers. Now,
Quavers.
Are they proper crisps? I dare say Gonzo, because he's a bit of a crisp expert, isn't he? He'd be foaming at
he's no expert.
People say Pringles are not crisps either.
Well, they're not really, are they?
They are.
They are.
They are. They're crisp shaped. The crisp.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not
if it
potato.
looks like a crisp and it tastes like a crisp, it's a crisp.
Like Skips. People say Skips are not crisps. They
No,
are.
I've got some in the garage actually.
What about Monster Munch?
Okay,
Monster Munch.
All right. What about
brilliant.
a Jaffa Cakes biscuits, or are they cakes?
No, that is a
Biscuit. That's a biscuit.
It is, yeah. It's not.
It is a biscuit.
Cake,
Yeah.
but it's a biscuit.
They're
Yeah.
Jaffa Cakes.
No, but they
do
just
you want
that's just a play on words.
Yeah, do you want my previous life as an accountant formal answer, or do you want the truth, which is it's a
Give us
biscuit?
both. Give
It's
us
a
both.
biscuit. Look, they say it's a cake, but they're lying to you, bro. It's a biscuit. You buy it from the biscuit aisle, yes, then it's a biscuit.
Because if you call it a Jaffa biscuit, it doesn't really go, does it?
It doesn't really go.
Doesn't quite sound the
Is
same.
that just in our heads? Is that maybe?
Well, Clive reckons that Quavers are crisps. I'm not
Thanks,
100% sure they are.
Yes,
Clive,
they
with
are.
all due respect. And listen, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just
You're
think for me,
deluded.
they're like a
You're
mate. They're
deluded.
maize, aren't they? I don't know. What are they?
Oh,
And Jaffa
come
Cakes are not a
on.
biscuit, according to Joan.
Oh, Joan.
Okay.
Oh, you're a clown. We've got so
Come
many
on.
deluded people here today.
Oh, that's mean.
No.
That's mean.
I've got to say, I get
It's
my
not
Quavers.
crunchy.
Don't listen to him, Joan. He's rude.
I get my Quavers out of the biscuit box in the garage. Not biscuit box, crisp box in the garage. So if that doesn't tell you they're crisp,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know what
Jaffa Cakes are down the biscuit aisle.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
but as Joan says, they're not crunchy.
So
Oh, come on, Joan. What kind of logic is that?
A digestive's not
It's called
crunchy
a
when you
Jaffa
put it in a
Cake.
tea. A
We've
digestive's not
started
crunchy when you
something here.
No,
The live chat is going mental.
Masawaku's called a footballer, and yet he doesn't show much evidence of that either.
No,
We
leave
can't
King
use the
Arthur
names as
alone.
proof of anything.
Leave King Arthur alone.
Can I just
He's
know?
right in the
saying.
final third of the pitch. That's
Yeah.
about it.
What's this?
Okay, Gatesy, I've got
Yeah.
one for you.
Go on.
Is lasagna a pasta?
Well, it's made with plaster sheets.
But is it a
But some
pasta?
people would come back to you and say it's not pasta enough.
What do you mean it's not pastry enough?
That's what people would say. I'm
It's,
just
it's
a
made
messenger.
with pasta sheets. Of
I'm
course
just a
it's not pasta
messenger.
dish, for Christ's sake. It's
Neil,
not rice.
sorry, Neil T. You can dunk Jaffa Cakes. I've done it before. That's very nice.
Can you?
Nah, I
Yeah.
disagree. I disagree.
Yeah, but they go all gloopy and it goes. And if you leave it too long and it just goes into your cup of tea,
You can't beat
No.
an original digestive to dunk though.
I'm a bit
original.
disappointed actually in Charlie's consistency here because when I said I dunked
That's
my
true.
chips in milkshakes, I got ridiculed. But Andy's just said he dunks his Jaffa Cakes in milk, and he's got no response.
Tea.
No, he said T. B, I don't. Andy, do you do this on the regular?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know there's people that are tuning in thinking that they're going to find us chatting about Kurt Zouma? We're talking about Quavers, Asta.
That's why we've got.
When are they going to start talking about the new signing?
That's why we've got 41 people watching. It's Forge Cookery Show.
Mind you, a couple of them are sat over there.
Oh,
A couple of the people
Clive,
watching.
Clive,
That's
I can't
cheating.
have that. Lasagna
What?
is. He said, "Go back to that, please."
What, the one about what Clive says about? Well, to be fair, he's got a point.
Lasagna is brilliant.
Oh, it is.
He's taking the piss.
It's even better when
Lasagna
you give it
gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, you can't diss lasagna anymore. We're past
You
that.
can't diss lasagna.
Give
Now my
lasagna
daughter's
the
asking a
disrespect
question.
It deserves.
Yes, Kent. Bourbons are good at dunking. I do like a bourbon.
Right, with an Oreo,
Yeah.
what you do is you take the top off, nibble it, and then you scrape the middle with your teeth and get it all in your mouth, and then
Do
you.
you know,
eat
I
the bottom
used to
bit.
do that with bourbons as a kid. I've got to hold my hands up to that.
Don't know
That
how I
is
feel about the
exactly
word
what I used to do
scrape
with
your
bourbons.
teeth as a phrase. I don't know how I feel about that as a phrase. Scrape with your teeth.
That's what you do.
You never tried that?
I've tried it. I don't know if I'd describe it as scraping it with my teeth, but of course I've tried it. Look at me, Casey. Of course I've tried it. I've partake on it on a regular basis, but I don't know if I'd say
What is the correct
scrape.
way to eat cucumber?
Cucumber.
Ooh.
You don't. Cucumber's trash.
Oh, you're not a fan?
Cucumber's rubbish, bro. It's just water.
Cucumber's good on a kebab.
No,
I've
I
never
hate
eaten a
kebabs. Kebabs are the most overrated food going.
What? Oh my god! No.
What about
What would
tuna
do?
and cucumber sandwiches? If you're going to get your MBE at Buckingham Palace, and
I
the
hate
Queen's
it.
done tuna and cucumber sandwiches with the crust cut off, you're
I'll
going to turn it away.
I'll tell her, listen,
Tuna is
Liz.
crap.
I respect the grind, but no, Liz, no. And then I
She's
take
made sandwiches. She's sat there on the chopping board. She's got the old bread out. She's slapped a little bit of
Giving a bit to
butter
the
on
dogs
it.
at the same
Little
time.
bit of
Yeah.
anchor butter.
Yeah,
And
so-
I'll
Done,
and
she's
I'll-
done
and I-
the sandwiches for you, Chaz, and
And I
you're
turn around to her
gonna.
and I say, look, as a future knight of the realm, no,
It's
I
terrible.
will not stand for this. This is not caliber of my stature. This is not okay. And then
What about olives? Who likes olives? I love an olive.
No.
You're not a fan.
I love an olive.
They taste horrible. First time I had one, actually, it was about 5 years ago, and I went to France. And I was actually.
You sure it wasn't a snail?
No, I've ate a snail. I did eat a snail on the trip as well,
Ooh.
and that was better than the
Oh
olive.
no,
But anyway, I went to a stall,
couldn't.
and I got some olives, and I had a smell, and immediately I was put off. But I put a few in my mouth, and my God. Yeah, if you've never had an olive, anyone watching, don't try it. It's disgraceful.
Yeah, but did you have a pitted olive?
I don't know.
Did it have
what
the
was.
seed in it? The pip in the
No.
middle? Because I always find that quite off-putting. I prefer it when they've been taken out. You
I don't
throw
get-
Oreos in the bin, apparently, Elizabeth.
Oh my goodness.
that's equally disgraceful.
I can't say I agree with that one, Neil, but you are
Okay.
entitled to your
Okay.
opinion.
Before we talk about Zouma, last question.
Yeah,
What's everyone's go-to Ben and
Before
Jerry's?
we talk about the guy that's in the title, the reason why everyone's turned up.
What's everyone's go-to Ben and Jerry's? What's their favourite?
Oh, cookie dough or fish food? Fish food's actually really underrated.
Yeah, fish food's the one I like as well. I like fish food as well. Don't get me
It's
wrong, I'll
so
eat.
good.
To be honest with you, you put any
What?
of it in front of me, I'll
Wait,
probably
hang on.
eat it. But
Sorry,
fish food
rewind.
is
Fish food.
Yeah,
Ice
yeah,
cream.
yeah.
Fish
Yeah.
food.
PHIS.
Fish flavoured ice cream.
It's called,
No,
yeah, it's called
no,
PH.
no.
It's the flavour.
Look it up.
It's
Dave.
The new one on
It's
It's
there.
basically marshmallows of fish. That's why it's called fish food. It's like them in the.
Oh,
ice
okay.
cream.
I thought you were saying it was fish flavoured ice cream. I was going to say cod flavoured haddock. What are we talking? Nah, it's not for me. Couldn't have that. Couldn't have that.
No, mine is either cookie dough or chocolate fudge brownie.
I agree with you. Anne. I just feel like you haven't delved.
We've been talking about food for about half an hour. We have only talked about.
I'll tell you what. The people that have stuck with us, Jesus Christ, they've got patience.
Andy, can I
They've
just
got
say, them
patience.
two flavours you just mentioned, they're good. But I feel like those were my favourites as well. You clearly haven't tried fish food.
I do not. I don't mind a fish food, but when you just get it out the freezer, it you've got to let it settle for a bit.
Yeah.
Mate, you got.
Mark says fish food as well.
You got to give it more effort. Give it some more welly. Do you know what I mean? Get the ladle right, and you're eating with a ladle, and you're going in, really giving it. You know, getting in.
What I sometimes do is I cut it out. I cut it out of the wrapper and then just put it all in a big pile.
Fair.
That's a good way to do it.
I just wait.
Should we get back on the
All
transfer
good things
chat?
come to those
Or should we just carry on talking food for the rest of the night?
Yeah, well, I can only go for another 15 minutes because I actually need to make food. I'm hungry.
So we've obviously got, fingers crossed.
No, there's
Zoom
nothing wrong with that,
door.
Kent. Sorry, answering Kent's question, there's nothing wrong with that. I love gherkins.
Oh no,
Oh,
yeah.
gherkins are
I'm all over that.
Gherkins in general is just wrong.
Really?
Oh yeah, Zouma banged, bro, with the frog and the balls and the tick. That's sick, bro. The gherkins in general.
Are you down the boat on Saturday, Charlie? You down the
I'm
boat?
not, unfortunately. I'm not, unfortunately.
I was going to say I'll bring you a jar of gherkins if I see you there.
I would throw them into the river.
Just
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
What else is in the river?
All the other gherkins people keep trying to give me. I'm like, no, none of this. And I lob it in.
You just got no sense of adventure, you, Mr. Walsh. Honestly,
They're wrong. When you order from McDonald's, I take pickles and gherkins out because it's just wrong. It's wrong.
honestly.
Gatesy, go back to Mark's comment. It was brilliant.
Do you see her? She's in the background. She's pouring another glass of wine. Can you see this, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
That's not wrong with that.
Alcoholic. Honestly,
Go back to Mark's
just no
comment.
need for it.
It was brilliant. Mark made a really good point about picking out the amount of fish food there is.
You want us to carry on talking food?
No,
Really?
but I have to say, if they're knowledgeable to start counting
Jesus.
if these children are knowledgeable to start counting how many fish there are,
Spence,
in
I've got
fish
no
food,
idea.
They're getting good value for money.
We trust me, Spence, but we did start talking about Kurt Zouma, and somehow we've got on the food. Don't ask me
What do
how
you
we
reckon?
got here.
What do you reckon Zouma's favourite French dishes?
Great
Oh,
question.
God.
Well, that's a good
Excellent.
point.
Unreal.
He looks
question.
like he likes snails. I don't know what it is. It
Do you
might be
think?
'cause he's so happy.
Yeah.
He's so happy.
I
I
reckon-
reckon there's something from.
I reckon-
Man loves a baguette. He's getting
No.
in there. He's having it whole. He takes the top off and he eats the inside bit first and then the crust.
Do you think so?
I
Right.
reckon duck à l'orange.
Duck à l'orange. Do you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Fools and Horses.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm thinking they call it canard.
Yeah. After what week?
Yeah. What do they call orange? No, that's what it is in French. Duck à l'orange. All right.
Like what we do.
Yeah. Zuma loves a nice curry. Ah, Wilston, you've got a restaurant.
Wilston Raider.
You've got a curry house. Kept that one quiet.
Wilston. Did you just call the Wilston Raider Wilston? I feel like that's so disrespectful.
All right, I'll call him Raider then. Listen, he doesn't mind. So long as it's reasonably polite, he's a good lad. He's a good lad, Wilston Raider. Don't leave him alone. Right, back to transfers. Off of food, back to transfers. Right, so we've obviously got 5 days left of the transfer window, I do believe, if my maths is correct.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, is Lingard for you, Charlie? What are you thinking?
I think it will happen. I've been saying I would be surprised if Lingard's not a West Ham player by the end of the window. Like I'm 85% certain it will happen. Would I go with it? No, personally not. Like I'm not going to complain. I'm certainly not going to be sad if it does happen because I think he's a very good player. But I do think we could find better and cheaper options and younger options. And I also think that's the one position on the pitch, or at least one of maybe that and right back, where I'm like, okay, I don't think we need necessarily any backups. I think we're all right. We should maybe spend because it's all the rest of our budget basically. If we're spending 26 mil on Zouma and we've got 45 mil, then that means we've got 19 million left, and all of that's going to be going on Jesse Lingard. So,
well, what about this fella, Vlasic?
Yeah.
Wilson Raider's saying about that. I mean, I've heard that there are talks ongoing. I mean, do you think that he could be a viable option instead of Lingard?
No.
It could be.
I doubt those talks are anything.
You think it's smoke and mirrors?
I don't think it's smoke and mirrors. I just think it's people talking about it before it's a thing.
Yeah, but
I think it's one of those situations where the headline of the article is Vlasic talks progressing or West Ham in talks with Vlasic, blah blah blah. But actually, that could also just mean what we saying about you. Would you be interested in coming here? It doesn't mean there's anything major happening.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things where we're just exploring options while we wait for Jesse Lingard.
It is interesting, but today CSKA Moscow, his team, played Zenit, which is obviously he's the best player on his team, and Zenit are obviously quite hard opposition for them. And he actually he starts every game, and he actually isn't in the lineup for today's game amongst the talks we've apparently had with them. So I don't know whether to read into that, but I feel like there's definitely something behind that.
What do you think about that, gentlemen?
I think there's tons of options. I think there's tons of options. I think
Prosecco.
we often get distracted by singular names because that's what comes up. And I don't get distracted by food. I get distracted by football. If you watch the watch-alongs, it's about it's about food, and then football happens sometimes. But like ultimately, there's tons of people out there we could be looking at, but we're just hyper-focusing on like the two we're aware of. I mean, wasn't it X who said recently that we're lobbing our net as wide as humanly possible right now? That's why there's loads of rumors.
Yeah,
there's probably like 5-6 people we're not aware of that we're just waiting to see what happens with.
Payet or Ronaldo?
Personally, I wouldn't pick him, but it is what it is.
God, what a question from Martin.
Oh, Ronaldo, he could good backup, play multiple positions. Do you know what I mean? Plays on the wing or up front.
I think he's a fantastic player, but no way in the world do I see him coming to West Ham, unfortunately. Do you know what? I think he's a cracking player. My wife cannot stand him.
Can I just say, I think Ronaldo is the best, arguably, I'd say he's the best player of all time. But I'm going to say this here and now. I actually think that if he joined West Ham, it would affect us negatively. And that might be the most stupid thing you've ever heard. But I feel like the team spirit would go down the pan a bit with him being. And I just, it sounds so stupid, but as well as Antonio is doing, I don't want to say Antonio is better than Ronaldo because obviously he isn't, but I feel like we're just so suited to Antonio and Ronaldo. I mean, if he joined West Ham, he'd want to be the main man. Yeah. I just feel like it would not be a viable project.
Charlie,
would he follow the ball like Antonio does? Would Moyes be able to tell him, look, you stay in line with the ball, and then you just do, you get to the end of it.
I think you'd have to just give him his own football, wouldn't you?
I'll tell you what, though, that's another player in the air. Fucking brilliant in the air.
Oh, isn't he? His hang time is ridiculous.
Crumb. Oh.
Imagine.
What the hell?
Oh.
What you done?
Oh, cramp.
You're going to have to call your mum.
This is a painful
She's going to have to rub your leg.
It's not yet gone.
I hope it's your leg, not your middle one.
Flipping Ronaldo and Souček in the air at corners. Lovely stuff. Why not? Let's go.
That'd be something. Just to sort of wind back, Brad, is it done or not? It's, well, put it this way. The medical is done. Personal terms have been agreed. The fee has been agreed. The only thing that could put a spanner in the works is if the medical has picked anything up. But the reports are saying that, I mean, Kaveh Solhekol was on Sky Sports News earlier, and his words were that Zouma has gone to West Ham. So I think we can take it as read that he's going to be a West Ham player unless something very strange happens.
Yeah, Sullivan would have to shoot Marina, the Chelsea negotiator at this point.
Yeah. I think that's unlikely, but I wouldn't actually put anything past Sullivan, to be fair. But so okay. I mean, West Ham Online. Okay. I mean, who else do you? I mean, sort of like I've just said to Charlie about Lingard and Vlasic. What are your thoughts? I mean, what to you would constitute a pass score as far as the transfer window is concerned? We've obviously got in Areola on a loan with a view to a permanent. We've got in, fingers crossed, Zouma. Where else are you thinking realistically we're going to be able to do business?
We need to get a striker in. Obviously, we've been linked to that Laborde or whatever he's called.
Yeah.
On from Montpellier. his record's okay. Obviously, 16 goals, 8 assists is good. What he got last season, but before that, his record was quite disappointing, to be honest. But obviously, I told you about Euro expert who watches French football, and he thinks that he'd be a good addition for us. His play style would suit us, etc., etc. So yeah, I feel like we need to go for a striker, and he's probably the only realistic option that we've been linked with that isn't Divock Origi. And also, I hate carrot cake. I've got to say.
Oh no, I'm not having that. No, I am not having that.
Carrot
I
cake
love
bangs.
carrot cake. Oh,
It's so
mate.
good.
Proper
And I hate
moist one.
cheesecake.
Nice. Beautiful. What about you, Molesy? Carrot cake, yes?
Yes, but my favourite cake is a Victoria sponge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Victoria
Hello.
sponge. I love a Victoria sponge.
I just like the icing. I love
Actually,
icing.
But talking of cake, yeah, even though it's got a minute, I do like a Tottenham cake. It is nice.
What?
Tottenham cake is nice.
What do you mean?
Wash your mouth out with Domestos, young man.
I imagine
Really?
it is. I imagine the Tottenham icing is quite nice.
Just saying it, the word sticks in my throat.
I don't call it Tottenham. I call it pink cake.
You just did call it Tottenham cake.
No, when I go out, I'm ashamed to say it out. We're on a stream. It's different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Newsflash.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Gates.
When this pizza's gone, guess what I'm having?
Do you have anything with it?
Domino's
though,
probably
Gatesy?
stomach issues. But
there are
remember-
the calories.
Do you know
in
what?
the screen.
Domino's I'm all right with. Pizza Hut. Oh, God. Yeah,
Pizza,
I need to.
yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I need to be quite close to a toilet a few hours later.
That's fair. That's fair.
Honestly. But no, same question to you, Milesy, that I've just said to West Ham Online. What's a
I've got to say, before, can I quickly butt in, Gatesy?
all right? Look, she's playing mum. She says you got to eat your main course before you can have your dessert. Typical mother, isn't it? But yeah, what's a pass score for you, Milesy, as far as the transfer window is concerned? What do you think is the minimum target we should be looking at from here on in?
At least another 4 players, mate. To be honest.
Oh, that's not going to happen, is it?
There's still a long way to go. We can
Are we talking even sort of like you're including loan signings there?
2 loans and 2 permanent transfers, I think.
Okay.
We sort of said it. I can't remember who I said it. I reckon Origi will come in on loan.
God,
He's been 92% certain for about the last 2-3 weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Origi on loan.
Don't know where I've heard that before.
And
He had his medical last Friday, Andy. We already passed that one.
oh crap! Yeah, I forgot about that. No, either Loftus-Cheek or Barkley were coming on loan.
He's had his medical. Loftus-Cheek had his medical 3 months ago.
Yeah, when he was at Fulham, he said he wanted to sign for West Ham, and I could see someone coming in from abroad, like an Italian side or something like that.
Yeah.
I want Lingard, but I can't see it happening.
Thing is, if he comes in, he's probably going to disrupt the progress of Ben Rama, which has been absolutely brilliant in pre-season and the first 2 games of the season. To be honest, as great as Lingard did for us last season, and I appreciate that he would bulk up the squad in terms of numbers and in terms of quality, but just, I don't know, I think that it would be a detrimental thing for Saeed Ben Rama.
Yeah.
What say you, Charlie?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think given limited time, limited funds, and limited, like you say, space, the one thing I'm super happy about this season is how good our front line has been. We've obviously conceded 3, but we've scored 8. I don't know if I want to disrupt that, like you say. And I'm not just talking about Ben Rama. I'm talking about all of them seem to be fit and firing on all cylinders. So even if you don't drop Ben Rama, you drop someone else, you're dropping someone who's fit and firing on all cylinders for once. And as much as we do need backup, and I agree, just that attacking midfield slot is the one place where I'm sort of relatively happy. I mean, we've got Yarmolenko, Lanzini, and Okaflex. I'm fine with that. You know, we need a striker. We need. I mean, I would argue a left back is something I would be highly interested in. For example, there's stuff we should be looking at and should be spending our time doing rather than chasing Lingard, who's going to cost us the rest of our money. And like you say, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I like Jesse Lingard a lot. I really do. And when we originally signed him, I was the one person on Hammers Chat who was like, I like Jesse Lingard. I think Lingard's good. It's just I was against the way we signed the deal. And it's like, do we want to change the style of play because he doesn't particularly suit the style that we're playing right now? Not as much as the people who are fit and firing right now. Do we want to disrupt everything for that? I don't know if we should. And if you're paying that much for him, which we would have to, then you're probably going to have to disrupt it. It's not for me personally. Like I say, I won't complain when it happens, and I do think it will happen. And when he's here, I'm not exactly going to moan because I do think that's easily an extra 10 goals and assists a season. But it's not something I would be particularly prioritizing at this stage when we've got however many days left.
What about you, West Ham Online?
Yeah, I'm on Team Charlie for that one. I've watched Ben Rama for nows and Bowen this season, and Ben Rama is the one who, if Lingard came in, would get dropped, and I just feel like that's really unfair. The way he's playing, he plays very differently to Lingard, and I feel like we rely on Ben Rama less than we relied on Lingard. I felt like we relied on Lingard a bit too much at times.
Yeah.
And I mean, Moyes just wouldn't drop him either, which with the way he was played at first was understandable. But I felt like in some games towards the end of the season, Ben Rama was more suited. You know, by the end of it, I was thinking, Christ, as Moyes and Lingard made a video on a certain website because he literally would not drop the man. But Ben Rama is.
He didn't ever bring him off even as a sub, did he? He played every minute, didn't he? I
don't know if he came off against Fulham. I might be wrong, but I don't think he did. I can't remember him coming off, basically.
I remember Wolves away, he couldn't even walk and he was still playing, wasn't he?
Yeah. Whereas if we got someone like a Bamba or Vlasic, I feel like they wouldn't be prioritised as much in terms of like they've got to be starting right now, and we'd have time to bed them in and whilst giving Ben Rama the game time he deserves. So I feel like I agree with Charlie. I don't know whether it's a signing that's as necessary as we all thought it was a couple of months ago.
No, and before I sort of put that question to Milesy, I'm just going to bring up Mr. Walsh's comment there because Pablo Fornals, if you weren't aware, ladies and gentlemen, he's been called up to the Spain national squad, and long before time, not before time.
Cockney and Easton, he is.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, I still can't understand.
I reckon Pablo likes pie mash and liquor.
Yeah, it seems like a proper East End Spanishman.
Jelly Hills as well. That's it.
Paella and mash. What could possibly go wrong? Same question to you, Milesy. Lingard, yes or no?
Yes, I agree with what Kent's saying. He can play 4 positions, and I think especially in Europa League, I can't see Antonio playing all of them, and I think he'll be a great false 9 to play in Europe, and he's got European experience, which our team very much lacks.
No, it's a fair point. Okay, well we've been rattling on for an hour and 3 minutes. Should we end it there, chaps, or do you want to talk about any other food stuff?
I think I'll talk about tomorrow when we do the draw. We can talk about what we're having for lunch.
Right, yeah. So for tomorrow's homework, because I won't be live, but I'll be in the chat because I'm unfortunately in the office tomorrow with a load of people. Is what's everyone's favourite cereal? That's homework for tomorrow. What is your go-to on your fry-up? Oh. And do you believe in brunch?
Oh,
brunch. Well, I suppose it depends upon what time you get up, doesn't it?
What a range of questions.
That's the 3 questions. Homework for tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to have to deal with all of that while there's a Europa League draw going on. I'm going to have to deal with. I have Rice Krispies.
It's going to take an hour. It's going to take an hour. They're going to explain the flipping rules of how you pick a ball out of a fucking.
And who got it last year?
Unbelievable. Any final words, Charlie, before we sign off?
I just want to say, it's royalty having Charlie on, and thanks for coming on, mate.
Absolutely.
Listen, there was food talk happening. It's like it's like Beetlejuice. Here's his name. He turns up. Food's happened. I'm like a meerkat, mate. I hear it from a mile off. I'm like, what? Where? I just preemptive strike, like Spidey senses.
Right. So if we just change our titles to "What's your favourite food?" Charlie will be here.
I'll be here every time. No
Every
Western
single time. I'll just send him the StreamYard link on a WhatsApp, and he's like, boom, there.
I'm like, bang, let's go. I've heard talk about chicken nuggets. It's just Charlie's rocking up. No?
I'll tell you what, I'll do that around about 10:45 tomorrow morning, Charlie, and I'll see you about 5 minutes later, if that.
Yeah, the one Gacy, you know me. I'm not awake at that time.
No, that is true. Yeah, that's a bit early. What,
I didn't even realize the draw was that early until you mentioned it. I'm like, well, I guess I'll see it when I wake up then.
Yeah, I guess you'll just find out.
The draw's at 12, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen it said 11 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock Turkey time, I think.
It is. Oh, after
Turkey time.
Turkey
one of my favorite times.
Turkey
turkey's so overrated.
Turkey Twizzlers when Jamie Oliver took him, the prick.
Pete, listen. When they start talking food, I can't control them. You know what I mean? They start going on about Nandos and £3 meal deals. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, it says that we're supposed to be talking about
in the background. He's promoted it. If you didn't have your pizza there, we wouldn't have talked about it.
But that was hang on.
This was all Gates'
Hold
fault,
on.
and I think that's something we can all agree on. Is that it was definitely
that was my family that was
everyone remember that it was
no.
Oh, right. It's all down to music.
We haven't even spoke about bacon and potatoes yet. Tomorrow you're getting that. It is going to be brilliant.
Bacon and potatoes.
I'm gonna separately.
Another homework for tomorrow to spam Gatesy. How do you like your eggs? Scrambled, poached, fried.
Oh,
you are so.
Don't start scrambled egg around me. They make me throw up.
See what I've got to put up with.
I can't stand scrambled egg. Not because it's not nice. It tastes nice, yeah. The look of it makes me feel sick. I can't eat it.
Scrambled eggs are top tier eggs.
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs is top tier egg maneuvers.
Bit of pepper.
I'm saying it now. Well, you can talk about pepper another time, but scrambled eggs.
Before I wrap it up, as I said, Charlie, your final thoughts on Kurt Zouma?
Positive, good times. I'm happy we're actually making a signing, and I think it improves the squad, and that's good. Moyes has got someone he actually wants, and that's important because. Gatesy, I'm not a huge fan of David Moyes, but I'm like, we need to back him as much as humanly possible. And he actually has someone who he really wanted. And that's a good thing because almost all of the time, we never back our managers to who they really want. So,
and what is your favourite curry?
Korma, next question.
Chicken?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
West Ham Online, Zouma, and your favourite curry?
I'm just disgusted that I heard that Charlie doesn't really rate David Moyes. I feel sick.
It's an opinion.
Do we have another 2 hours?
I need food, man.
No, I'll tell you what, Charlie. We'll get you on. We'll get you on. I'll make 2 hours in my day, and I'll sit you down, and we'll do a stream just on David Moyes, and you can get it off your chest as to why you're not a Moyes believer.
What is the main reason? Quickly, if you could just put 1 point forward.
He just chats nonsense, doesn't he? He's a breeze merchant, bruv. Absolute breeze merchant. Fuming. We'll go into it another time, but man's anyway. I bet he doesn't like pineapple on pizza either. It's disgraceful behaviour. Pineapple.
He's gone up in my estimation then. Only fruit that should be on a pizza is tomato.
Am I hearing that you're Moyes out?
No, not Moyes out. Not Moyes out. I said he should have got a new contract. By February last year, I was saying he should have got a new contract. Mainly because what else do you want him to do to actually get a new contract? But at the same time, if someone else came in, I wouldn't complain.
I would. I'd be in tears.
I wouldn't be in tears.
Happy. Egg and soldiers.
David Moyes has installed happiness into this.
Quick question. Really, Andy? I'm trying to go. I need food.
Yeah, let's do the quick question. Let's drag this on. What are we saying? Quick question. Did you see you can get...
You are one evil human being.
End it, Gacy.
Chicken shop.
No, we'll go round the room. West Ham Online. Zouma, what are your thoughts and your favourite curry?
His middle name, and chicken tikka masala.
Chicken tikka masala. Milesy.
Love Zouma. Can't wait for him to play. And my favourite curry is a jalfrezi. Chicken tikka jalfrezi.
Chicken tikka jalfrezi. Right. I'm going to say that for me, if David Moyes says that he's his number one signing, I've got no reason to disbelieve him. I've got no reason to doubt that David Moyes has identified the right player to bring in. I think he's an upgrade on Craig Dawson. I think that he's going to learn an awful lot from Ogbonna in the next season or two. He's 26 years of age. He's a Premier League proven, tested player. He's got 2 Premier League medals under his belt. He's got a Champions League under his belt. He knows what it takes to win. And I think that, £25 million for a centre back of that sort of, with that CV, for me, I think that's value for money, in my opinion. Time will tell. It could well be that a year down the track, I might look very silly because he's gone out and stunk the place out. But for me, right here, right now, on the basis of evidence that I've got in front of me, Kurt Zouma, I'm very happy with. As for my favourite curry, crumbs. I think I'm probably. I'm going to go jalfrezi route as well, but I might go lamb jalfrezi.
That is poor.
Why?
You can't go lamb. Come on.
Why?
Lucy.
Why? Maybe even prawn. I like prawn.
Oh my! Sorry, I'm gone.
What? God's sakes! Honestly,
I back it, Gatesy.
he got a cramp midway through this stream, ladies and gentlemen. He's the youngest one of us, and he started squealing like a girl that he had a cramp, and his mum had to come running into his bedroom and give him a little rub down. And he's having a pop at me. Really?
Get him online. Get him. Let's really take up Andy's time. Get him. Come on. Have a pop pack.
I'm just gonna go. He
will.
End it for Andy's stomach steak.
You don't want to see me when I'm angry. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
All I'm going to do, gentlemen, I'm going to end it on this. And those of you who's 63 watching know where this is going if you're long-time subscribers. And if you're not, stick around because you're going to learn something. Young Isla Caton needs your help by taking the information on this banner, which is in the description below, YouTube and Facebook. Put it onto your social media platform with a little note as to what it's all about, because this little girl is fighting for her life. She has a cancer called neuroblastoma. There ain't no treatment for this in the UK. So we need to try and get behind this campaign, because this little girl, the clock is ticking and the odds are getting ever stacked more against her. Her family have got to pay for the treatment overseas. They've got to pay for the travel to and from, their accommodation. The bills are still coming in the UK. So guys, if there's a campaign that we at Fulsham Iron, and not just us, the wider West Ham YouTube community, I think, is behind this as one. Please let's try and help this family out. We like to pride ourselves as a club that we're not just a club, we're a family. This is a member of our family that need help. So put it on your social media platform, get the message out there, and maybe some people on your friends list can put some money in the pot. If you feel that you can put some money in the pot as well, so much the better. You have a Just Giving link there to do that. No donation from £1 upwards is too small. And I thank you very much indeed, as always, for your attention. And the last little bit, selfless little bit of promotion. Please don't forget to put a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon to be notified of any content that we upload to the channel. Charlie, I am much obliged for your time, sir.
No worries. Thanks for letting me talk about food. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
we've gained 2 subscribers. We're up to 720 now.
Yeah.
Wowzers. There you go. Well, I'm going to end it there, guys. Thanks to you as well, West Ham Online. Do appreciate it.
No problem.
And Milesy, as always, thank you for your contribution.
Anytime. And tomorrow, 6 o'clock, preview for Crystal Palace game.
Yeah, and that fella there in the middle of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, barring any unforeseen circumstances, is a West Ham player.
He doesn't mean half of his body. He means the full Kurt Zouma will become West Ham.
Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Only one thing left that I'm going to end it with. Milesy?
We are fucking massive.
We are. Come on, you irons.
On your irons.
Shut up, West Ham Online. Back in your cage.